G'day guys, how's it bloody going, and welcome to m8t5 Reviews Godzilla 2014. Okay, so Godzilla is... Really? You haven't heard of Godzilla before? What's wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding, but Godzilla is pretty much just this giant lizard that has been affected by, like, nuclear radiation or something. I'm not too sure because I haven't really... Okay, I'm not the biggest Godzilla fan. I've only seen the 1999 version, and as a kid, I actually liked it. But lately, I've been hearing, everybody's like, "Oh, that's actually a horrible movie" and stuff like that. But I thought it was fun. But I was young at the time, and I like dinosaur-looking things, and it was good fun. But yeah, this is another reboot in 2014, and it's completely different from the 1999 one that I remember. So I can't really judge just based on, the older Godzilla movies. But to put the plot in perspective for you, there's this threat. Not Godzilla, but another threat that's pretty much endangering, humanity. And pretty much the entire story is pretty much just about the military trying to figure out a way to deal with this threat, as well as Godzilla being around. Which brings me to my first good but bad point. Godzilla is not really... Feels like the movie shouldn't be called Godzilla is what I'm saying, because Godzilla, I swear, is only present in about like 20% of the film. He feels like a back character, like that character in the back, like an extra on the set. This movie is pretty much about the military and how they're going to deal with these giant creatures wreaking havoc all over the place. Godzilla as well as the m8t5, which is what they call the other creatures. So yeah, since the movie pretty much focuses just on the military and their troubles and theories of how to get rid of these giant creatures, so it pretty much, it feels like Godzilla isn't used enough. But this also brings me to a pro, that it gives you this really, really epic kind of build-up to see Godzilla and to see these creatures, it's just, it's much more interesting and exciting, because when you watch like a movie and you see the thing from the very start and just goes on and on and on, it's not as exciting as it goes. But since this movie sort of teases you the entire way, it's sort of, you build up, and when you see it, you're just like, yeah, that's pretty badass. But then again, when these two actually get together, the Godzilla and the m8t5, and actually go to fight, cuts to black, just like that, like once or twice in the movie, and you're just like, no. I know why they did it, I see why they did it, but it can be disappointing if that's what you're watching this movie for. So if you go into this movie thinking Pacific Rim, it's not. In fact, if I had to compare Pacific Rim with Godzilla, Pacific Rim wins with the fighting, Godzilla wins with the overall story and events and pace. Because with Pacific Rim, I found myself, the characters and their development, it was just boring and just holding it back from what it should have truly been about, and that's just the fighting, badass robots fighting creatures. But in this movie, I felt that it had an excellent pace from beginning to end, and it just kept me, excited to see what happens next. And there's a lot of great destructive set pieces too, which I'm a big fan of, destruction and explosions and stuff. So I was visually and entertained throughout the entire film, pretty much. I didn't really find myself thinking, "Oh, is this movie over yet? This is crap." I was just watching. I was just like, "Wow, this is quite entertaining." As you may know, Bryan Cranston is in this movie, but again, pretty much the bottom line, if I have to have a bottom line for this already, don't go and see this movie if you want to see Bryan Cranston, and if you want to see Godzilla fighting giant monsters, because it's not there. Bryan Cranston is seriously underused in this movie, so don't go to this movie thinking, "Oh, I'm going to see it because it's a Bryan Cranston movie." It's not a Bryan Cranston movie. He's a supporting actor, so it's not the same. So yeah, to sum it all up, pretty much, I really enjoyed this movie. I mean, I loved the military parts, like, they were just really interesting, and just the theories that they were trying to figure out, and how to protect humanity and kill these creatures. And it's just really interesting. It's kind of actually like a documentary of what you would do to try and defeat these monsters and what could go wrong, because these monsters are pretty much just another animal. They're just doing what they're made to do, and but unfortunately they're killing the hell out of mankind. So but overall, I really did enjoy this movie. I knew that when I was going into it, it wasn't really going to be about Godzilla, because I heard a couple of reviews about it, but they said that you're either going to love or hate this movie, and I agree. You are really either going to love or you're going to hate this movie. Pretty much, if you're going into this movie thinking you're going to watch Pacific Rim 2, nah, it's not going to be like that. But the military, and just, I enjoyed the characters. There's, there's nothing about the characters that I hated. It didn't throw in that crap like Pacific Rim did, like the love story and all this, crap that just wastes time. It was just serious, down to earth sort of, we got to get this done sort of thing. And it was fun to watch. It was a great pace, and I was just entertained throughout the entire film. From the great performances to the CGI is fantastic, and the sound, and just it's a very well-made movie. It may disappoint, because I haven't seen all the other Godzilla movies, but you definitely don't see Godzilla as much as you did in 1999. But still, it's all the more exciting every time you do see him, and he is one badass lizard. So yeah, I really do recommend you go and see this movie, but just don't see it if you love Bryan Cranston and that's the only reason you're going, or you want to see Godzilla like blowing crap up, because that's just not going to happen, like as much as you think anyway. So yeah, I actually really liked this movie, more than I thought I was going to. So I'm just going to give it a 9 out of 10 right there, smack. It's a great movie, great pace, great characters, just everything about it's great. There was nothing in the movie that sort of made me think, why is that in it? It was all great from start to finish, and I was very entertained. But yeah, it might not be for everyone. I've already talked about those points, but yeah, I'm just warning you again, it might not be for everyone. So it's just, yeah, this is just one of those movies, you're either going to love or you're going to hate it. So what did you think of Godzilla 2014? And if you have any questions about the movie, just leave me a comment down below. And if you love this review and you want to see more, remember to like me on Facebook or subscribe to me on YouTube if you want to see more. Alright guys, thank you for watching my review. It's good to be back. I haven't done a review in a few months, so I hope you enjoyed this latest review. Alright, m8t5 bloody out of here.